Hello, welcome everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find a slope if you're given 2 points. So let's take a look at this first row where we say that the slope is defined as the ratio between change in y and change in x. So if you divide the change in y with change in x, that will give you the slope of the line or the segment that we are talking about that involves those 2 points. So there are different terminologies that are used for slope. It's called change in y over change in x. It's called delta y over delta x. It's called rise over run because change in y is also considered the rise in the or rise in the vertical direction, and change in x is considered the run or the movement in the x direction. So I'm going to put like a couple of points, and then we're going to connect those 2 points, and then we're going to find out the slope between those 2 points. So if I put a point that is 0, 1 and 2, 4, and we want to find out the slope of the line that goes through these 2 points, or the slope of the segment that connects these 2 points that we have here. So let's first graph these 2 points. First one is 0, 1, so that would be right here. The other one is 2, 4, 1, 2 in the x direction and 4 in the y direction. So we're looking at around here. Okay, now we connect these 2 points with this segment or a line. So we want to find out the slope of this segment or this line right here that we have. So we use this equation that I have given you above, and let's see what the slope is. So m equals y2 minus y1 and over x2 minus x1. Okay, so here the smaller x value is going to be the x1, so this is x1. So the corresponding y value would be the y1. This is x2 because it's a larger x value, and the corresponding y value is the y2. So we basically plug in these values. For y2 we plug in 4, minus for y1 we plug in 1, divided by x2 is 2 minus 1. So this is equal to 3 over 1. So slope is equal to 3. So what this means is that for every unit that our graph moves in the x direction, like 1 unit, it moves up 3 units in the y direction. So rise is 3 and the run is 1. So this is also 3. Okay. Let's do another example. We have, and also our slope is positive. So we also gonna look at a line or a segment that has a negative slope. So in this one, we're just looking at the positive slope. So let's take another line or a segment that is connected by these 2 points. We get negative 2, negative 1, and the other point is 2, 3 right here. So this is a segment connected by these 2 points. This is the first point. This is the second point. So I'm going to go ahead and plot these 2 points. So first one is negative 2 in the x direction and negative 1 in the y direction. So this is our first point right here. It's negative 2, negative 1. The second point is 2, 3. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we connect these 2 points right there. So this is 2 comma 3. Now we want to find the line, the slope of this line or the segment that connects these 2 points. So we're gonna use the same formula that we are using. The slope is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. So our y2 in this case is, so x1 is this one right here. The smaller x value would be the x1. This is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. So y2 is 3 minus y1 is negative 1, and then x2 is 2 minus negative 2. So we go ahead and simplify this. So 3 minus minus 1 becomes 3 plus 1 divided by 2 minus minus 2 becomes 2 plus 2. So this is 4 over 4, which is equal to 1. So our slope is 1. 1 means that the rise over run equals 1. That means for every 1 unit in the x direction, our graph moves 1 unit in the y direction. So that's how we calculate the slope of the lines using the points. If we have 2 points, that's how we calculate it. So this is how we start this one. And now let's go to the next one where we're going to actually calculate the slope that is not going to be positive. In this case, it was positive. This one, we are going to look at some points where the segments are going to give us a negative slope. So if we look at point, this is a negative, we're going to look at negative slopes. Negative slope. So if we have a point which is negative 4 comma 2, and then we have another point which is 0 comma negative 2, and now we want to plot these 2 points and then find out the slope of the segment that connects these 2 points. So we have negative 4, so 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, comma 2, so 1 point goes right here. Now, this is negative 4, comma 2, it's in a second quadrant. And then the next point is 0, comma negative 2, so it's 0 right here and negative 2 right here. It's right on the vertical axis. 0, comma negative 2. Now we're going to go ahead and connect these points, and we have actually a segment. So if we look at this, we have a segment that's going down in direction. It's not in rising form. So here, our first x value is this right here. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. This is y1, not a, it looks like x, but it's y. All right, so the slope is going to be equal to delta y over delta x. All right, delta y is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if we go ahead and solve this one by putting the numbers, so y2 is negative 2 minus y1 is 2 divided by x2 is 0 minus x1 is negative 4. So here we get negative 2 and negative 2 becomes negative 4 on top, and the bottom becomes 0 minus minus 4, 4. So your slope is equal to negative 1. Okay, so this is the line or the segment that has a negative slope. Okay, so that means every 1 unit in the x direction, our line goes down by 1 unit. So if it goes in the x direction 1 unit, then it also goes in down by 1 unit as well. So -1 right here. So it's falling line right here. This is the line we're looking at. It would move like that. Right there. All right, let's do one more. I'm just going to put these 2 points right here. So the points are 1, 2. So this is 2, 1, because it's 2 in the x direction, 1 in the y direction. And this point right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's 4, 4 right here. So the slope is going to be m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now we just plug in the values. This is our x1. This is our y1. This is our x2. This is y2. So y2 is 4 minus y1 is 1. x2 is 4 as well, minus x1 is 2. So we have 4 minus 1 is 3 on top, 2 at bottom, which is equal to 1.5 if you simplify this further in a decimal form. So this says that for every 2 units in the x direction, our line moves up 3 units in the y direction, or every 1 unit in x direction, our line moves up by 1.5 units in the y direction. So the slope is 1.5. So rise equals 1.5, run equals 1. So every 1 unit in the x direction, the graph rises by 1.5 units in the y direction. So hopefully this helps.